Hey everyone, I'm in a sweatshirt that says never ending fun, and I have my hair back in a headband, so you know what this is. It's a makeup tutorial, and I am going to do the makeup that you see right here, a very soft muted eye and a bold orangey red lip. And I think it's actually quite summery because it's more like a bright orangey red. If it was more of like a deep dark red, I would say it's more wintry, but I really like this for summer now. It just makes me think of going to the beach and the pool, which I wouldn't do in a lip like this because knowing me, I'm like all makeup free or just very glowy skin for the beach. But it just reminds me of like that summertime feeling. I'm going to stop talking now. So if you want to see how I got this look right here, then just keep on watching. For this look, I'm going to start with priming my eyelids. I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape Contour Concealer, and this is in the shade Light. I've mentioned this before, but I don't really like using this as a concealer. I much prefer it as an eyelid primer. It's just way too thick as a concealer for my personal face. It just is way too much. So I tend to use it as a eyelid primer. If you have a concealer that you're not using, that you for some reason cannot return, just use it as an eyelid primer. That's my advice. I've kind of put it all over my lids and on my inner corners and under there a little bit even. And can you see how thick that is? Super thick, so you don't even need that much. And blending it all over my lid, onto my inner corner. And I like to use my ring finger to do that. So I'm just blending that all over, and the warmth of your fingertips kind of blends the concealer out. So just keep that in mind. Also, have my hair pulled back in a headband because that's the best way to do makeup. I'm going to apply this now. I've talked about this in my tanning routine video. It's just such an amazing product for moisturizing, making your skin look ultra glowy, and giving it a little bit of like a tan look as we go into summer, which I don't look like because I'm wearing a sweatshirt, but I was a little cold this morning and now I don't feel like changing. So that's why I'm in a sweatshirt, but it is definitely heading into summer now, and I can definitely use a little bit of color. So this is what I'm using right now. And it is in the shade medium to tan, I should say. I'm going to put a little bit on the back of my hand, and then I'm just going to blend it into my face. So putting little dots everywhere, as I do with all of my primers, and then just blending it into place. And you always want to have wipes on hand to wipe your hands afterwards, because this does definitely leave a little bit of color, and it will be on your fingertips afterwards if you don't wipe it off. So, eyeshadows. This is what I'm going to be using, the Lorac Mega Pro 4 palette. They may not have this anymore, but they have plenty of eyeshadows that are similar. Lorac makes some pretty good eyeshadows. These are kind of dusty a bit, so I don't know if it was as popular of a palette than the other ones, but don't worry if you don't have this palette. You can definitely use similar shades that you have on hand. Makeup Geek makes some beautiful eyeshadows. You can get most of these individually from Makeup Geek. You can get them from Maybelline at the drugstore. You can get the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. That has plenty of these eyeshadows in them. I'm just using it because I wanted to use something different other than the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette because I've just been using it constantly and I want to change it up for you. So I'm going to use Cool Taupe and Butterscotch. I like to use them as like my shade that goes down first to kind of make everything nice and smooth first, so that once you put things down on top it looks nice and even. So just going through my crease and then onto the lid just a little bit. And I am going to keep this look pretty simple on my eyes. I am going to wear lashes, but I'm still going to keep it pretty simple because I want to do an orangey summer lip. And then I'm going to put this shade called Mocha all over my lid. Taking that same shade and bringing it to my lower lash line with a pencil brush is a must. I'm going to use the Rimmel Kohl Kajal in Nude. I just love this pencil. I'm going to use that on my waterline because I want it to be nice and bright and open and awake, but nothing crazy and different. I'm at the very end of this one. I need to get a new one. And then I'm going to take this shade called Blackberry. I think it's kind of a purpley black shade. I'm just going to smoke out my upper lash line just a little bit. So I'm just going to line the top of my lash line with that. And that's just going to peek through a little bit. So it adds just a little bit of smoke and definition, I think. But it's not like lined per se, just smoky. I'm also going to take a tiny bit of that and just bring it ever so close to the lower lash line. And now I remember why I don't use this eyeshadow palette very much. Because as you can see, it's quite dusty. It's like dusting down to my lower lash line quite a bit. That's probably why I don't use it very much. I'm just randomly picking out things because I want to change it up a little bit. I haven't used this Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara in a while, so I'm going to use that. This is definitely the tutorial of things I haven't used for a while. Rekindle my love for some of my old favorites, maybe. And just use things that I haven't used in a while. Because I keep using the same Stila mascara. I just love it so much. It just reminds me why I love that Stila mascara. It's just so good. And this is not bad. Maybe it's just a bit dried out at this point. I just, like, after you use a really good mascara, you kind of just get a little underwhelmed by other mascaras that are not as great. Even if you thought they were amazing or you loved them when you bought them. Just doing my lower lashes as well. The truth is, you don't need to use high-end mascaras. High-end mascaras are very similar to the ones from the drugstore. They pretty much do the same thing. Like if there's one product that you could buy from the drugstore and get the same exact effect, it would always be mascara. So if you don't want to spend $25 on a mascara, that's totally fine. Get one from the drugstore, you'll be just fine. There is one thing I cannot change up because I just love these so much. These are the Ardell Demi Wispies. They're just the best lashes ever, and you can get these from the drugstore. I think this whole pack was about $11, and that's for 5 pairs, which is really good. I'm really regretting my decision to put on a sweatshirt this morning when it was cold out, because now it's like 80 degrees, and I'm roasting. So I'm just lining the lash with some glue. And as always, you knew it was coming. This is the Duo Lash Adhesive in the dark tone. I've been using this forever. I actually switched for a while to, I think, the House of Lashes one or the Tarte one. It's just not as good. I thought I was having an allergy to the glue. Then it turned out it was just my lenses that really don't agree. And I haven't been wearing lenses since because they just don't agree with me. So I let the glue get a bit tacky first, and then I plop it on at the center of my lash, as you can see what I just did. And then I kind of just pull the edges in as it gets a bit more tacky, because that's when they start to stick down properly. And looking down into a mirror like I'm doing right now is probably your best bet, especially if you're just starting with lashes. Line the lash. Let's see if I can get the other one on camera. That would be pretty impressive, don't you think? Let's do it. I'm going to use one of my old favorites. This is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation in the shade Light Sand. It's just so good. And I'm probably pretty out of it. Let's just see. Let's try to take some out with the wand, but I doubt I'll be able to get any. Yeah, not very much left here, so I'm gonna just use that and kind of take it out of the back of my hand. Oh yeah, I'm getting some, which is good. I wet my sponge with the MAC Fix Plus. I went over the foundation, and I'm just going to kind of pack it on like that. I just like go into the product on my hand, and then just kind of put it where I need it, and then blend it out with the sponge. And I like this flat side. So I do like my brushes, and I do like my Clarisonic. I do agree with people when they say that this does give you more of a natural finish. So like for an everyday look, or just like if you don't want your skin to look overly caked. Right now I have a lot of dry patches as well, which I'm trying to avoid having the foundation stick very closely to. That's the reason that I chose to use a sponge today. This is what I would look like if I had short hair. Oh, this like gives me memories of being like 5 and having a little, I have like the worst hair. My mother gave me the worst haircuts, and I let her, like I would ask her to, like chin length. I had like short layers. I had just such thick hair that it was actually really uncomfortable. In the summertime, it was just so hot, and even if it was in a ponytail, it was just always on my neck. So my mother was actually trying to keep me cool, but that was not a good look for me. Another tried and true favorite. This is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Invisible Cover Concealer in the shade Y21. I use this stuff so much. I just can't avoid it. It's the best. Like, there's nothing, in my opinion, that does it like that does. And I've tried plenty of concealers recently. I don't know, I keep going back to this. I can't find one that I love as much. I'm gonna keep searching, and I'll tell you what I love so much about this in 1 second. As soon as I finish getting this where I want it. So I kind of just do that usually. I kind of blend it with my finger a little bit up into the areas that I want. And then I use the sponge to blend it downwards. So same sponge. You can use a brush to do this. I just love how this blends out. So as you can see, it's not overly thick. So this one blends really well. It does set up super fast. That's one thing that I've noticed, that I have to work really fast with it. So technically I'll sometimes like put one eye on, blend it out, and then do the other eye, because as you can see, that's already almost set under my eye and I didn't even blend it in. So it sets pretty fast, but it's very thin, so it's easy to blend out. And I just love this shade as well. It's just like super brightening, but it also does conceal and it doesn't cake up. So it looks like skin, and that is what I love so much about it. It looks beautiful in pictures like most of Makeup Forever's products. So what can I say? I just love it. I go down the center of my nose a little bit with it, just to bring a little light there. I'll put a little bit on my chin. I'll put a little bit also just right down the center of my brows here, and then upwards like that. That just kind of brings some light to the center of my face. I really love cream contouring, but I'm getting back into one of my oldies again, the Shade and Light palette by Kat Von D. I use the heck out of this. I like to mix these two shades. That one clearly has hit pan, and I think that's why I stopped using it. If I ever stop using a product like I did with this one, it's most of the time because I am nervous that I'm going to run out of it, and then I just start using something else that I end up loving, and then I don't end up finishing it. So I'm making an effort to take things out of the back of my drawer and really use them instead of letting them sit, angling back towards the back of my face and then kind of swirling around like that so that it's nicely blended. It's not really like contouring. I'm not using a cream contour. I'm just kind of like bronzing all over the place. So I guess it's more bronzing than contouring. But I am definitely still giving my face some definition. So all along my hairline and the sides of my face, meeting in with that contour of my cheekbones, and then just bringing it down to my jaw. And then as always, bringing it down to my neck so everything nicely evens out. And I'll just set under my eyes with this yellow powder. There's not very much left clearly, but it works. It just kind of brightens and sets and kind of conceals a little bit more also, like anywhere that's still peeking through. So I've been very into setting under my eyes lately again. I have a ton of loose powders. I just tend to end up going back to these. They're just pigmented enough that they kind of do exactly what I want. Let's do highlight, because that's my favorite part of every look. I'm going to use the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Moonstone, and mine is cracked, unfortunately, but I'm still using the crumbs of it because what else would I do? And I've had this one for a really long time, but I haven't used it a lot recently, and it's just such a good one. It's so soft, and that is what I love so much about it, and that's why I'm coming back to it again. And Becca is just so good for their highlights. I need to get all of them. I just love all of their highlights. Every time I go into Sephora, I swatch them, and I think to myself, like, I need more of these. I'm going down the center of my nose, over my Cupid's bow. I'm just going to highlight my inner corners with that same highlight. I like to use the same highlight that I use to highlight my face on my inner corners and brow bones. I tend to do that a lot. What video would it be if I didn't use the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade? This is the shade Medium Brown. As always, I'm using the Anastasia number 12 brush. This is the perfect duo. So, brushing through my brows as I do in every single video, and then kind of just go through my brows. I go over the arch and accentuate that a little bit. I like trying other products because that's just what I do. I love testing products. I test other things, but I always end up coming back to this because this just always gives me a strong brow going over the tail. Because I'm doing a very bold lip, I want to just outline my lip. I'm not using the same color as I'm using for the lipstick. I'm just going to use a nude lip pencil. This is the MAC World Lip Pencil. I've used it so much. It's just the perfect thing to kind of make your shape so you know where to put the lipstick over. I am going to apply a really bold lipstick. I've done a red one here. This is more like an orangey red, which I love. This is the MAC So Shad lipstick, and it's just a really matte orange lipstick. It's as simple as it is. And I'm going to apply a little bit from the tube, and then I'll go and straighten out the edges with a lip brush. And I wore this for the first time in months yesterday, and I just couldn't believe that I hadn't worn it in such a long time because it's so pretty. So just going over the center. And then I go over the edges. See if I can fix this up a little bit with the lip brush. See how I just kind of smoothed out the edge? I highly recommend getting super up close to a mirror and looking for any little inconsistencies. And this little lip thing, like that, is your best friend too, because it kind of meshes the lipstick together and makes it nice and even. And now that I'm finished all that, I'm just going to spray my face, drench it with Fix Plus. Carefully, I'm going to try to cover my mouth as well. This is the MAC Prep Plus Prime Fix Plus in the shade Pink Light. Ready? I'm going to put a little bit of blush on because I just like to do sometimes. Here and there I like to wear it, and I think this look could use a little bit. So I'm going to wear this Tipsy Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush by Tarte. Just take a little bit of my brush like this, and I'm just gonna go over my cheek just a little bit. I think it kind of just goes with this look. Just over that round of my cheek. And that's it. Love it. I just want to thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. That way you can see when I upload new videos. Leave me a comment down below if you have any video requests. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up as well. If you like it, that gives me a lot of feedback as to what videos you like. And I think that's about it, so I will see you in my next video. Bye!